Welcome into Gamecock Saturday night. I am your host, Noah Chast. The Gamecocks 2025 season is in the rearview mirror, and it's all eyes on 2026. And we start tonight with the latest on quarterback LaNorris Sellers. Earlier today, ESPN's Pete Thamel reporting that Sellers in South Carolina are nearing a deal for the quarterback to come back for his redshirt junior season. A source tells me Shane Beamer and the coaching staff are, quote, working diligently to get the right pieces around Sellers. Jordan Kay of The State confirmed with LaNorris Sellers that the plan is to stay with the Gamecocks, but nothing is final yet. He confirms Sellers plans to be involved in some capacity in putting the 2026 roster together. Here's what Shane Beamer and his new offensive coordinator, Kendall Briles, had to say on Sellers' status as of Friday morning.
We had good conversations. He still has a decision to make. He hasn't made that yet, I don't believe, but all my conversations with him have been really positive.
I'm probably not 100% in the loop on what's going on with him. I think they've had some conversations and he's going to make a decision, and I feel confident that he's going to be all want, of course, to be involved with this whole program and be the starting quarterback. So hopefully that's where this thing leads. And there's some other players that are really good. They were young at receiver last year. I think that if things will fall in place the way that the athletic department wants to, then, we'll have a good football team.
I'm told there is no timeline for a deal to be made, but all in all, it's looking like Sellers will be back next season. And the 2026 Gamecocks and Sellers, if he's here, will have a brand new offensive coaching staff. You met one, but all three were introduced to the new Gamecock family this week. Offensive coordinator Kendall Briles, coming from TCU. Offensive line coach Randy Clements, or Clem, who spent last season at TCU with Briles, and running backs coach and assistant head coach for offense Stan Drayton, who spent this past season at Penn State, but coached Beamer back at 04 at Mississippi State. Shane Beamer says he is fired up. All three of these men chose to come to South Carolina, knowing the expectations that will come as they attempt to fix the offense next year.
There were a lot of coaches that early in the process that I had conversations with, it sounded great, but as it got closer and closer, I think just to be frank, I think the opportunity was maybe too big for them. Whereas these guys, they ran to this opportunity and said, let's freaking go. What an opportunity to get here to South Carolina. We see how close we are, and we can be the guys that can come in here and help elevate this program to where we're competing for championships like we all expect to and will to here at Carolina. So these guys are a big part of that, and grateful for their trust and how fired up they are about being here.
All right, let's get to know each of these new coaches a little bit better, and we'll start with the new play caller, Kendall Briles. Briles spent the past 3 seasons with TCU and the prior 3 with Arkansas. He's a Texas native, playing college football at Texas and Houston. Briles will take over a Gamecock group that ranked 102nd in scoring offense and 106th in total offense. But the new OC knows what he's getting into taking over this offense, and he says Shane Beamer is a big part of why he wanted to come to South Carolina.
Coach Beamer, his leadership, I believe in him with this program, and I believe in the players. I think that they were really close at times. I'm sure that people don't like hearing that, so we want to get over that. We want to be winning football games when we need to go win. So it's an incredible opportunity to be able to go do that, and I think that we're going to have the people in place to really do it.
Briles had TCU ranked as the 40th, 25th, and 43rd scoring offenses in the country in his 3 years with the Horned Frogs. South Carolina was in the hundreds this year, so that would be an improvement. Along with Briles is his hand-picked offensive line coach, Randy Clements. Again, he goes by Clem, not for Clemson, but for Clements. He's a 35-year coaching veteran with 23 seasons as a collegiate offensive line coach. Spent times at schools like Ole Miss, North Texas, Houston, and North Carolina, to name a few. He and Briles have known each other since they were kids. I believe they said 12 years old. He reunited with him last year at TCU. Now, this Gamecock O-line was much maligned this season, with the O-line coach Lonnie Teasley being fired mid-season. South Carolina, 133rd in the country last season with 43 sacks allowed. But Clem, like Briles, is embracing this tough challenge.
I want to come in here with a fresh fresh mindset, and give everybody a chance to, prove themselves and see where everybody fits. It's like, O-line, you got 5 guys playing at once, but you got to have more than that, and they all got to fit together and work together. So it'll be a grind, daily process.
It's South Carolina, it's in the SEC, and you can get this thing going. You can get the right players in here and work them hard day in, day out, and you get it.
And Sean Elliott, who took over as the O-line's coach during the year this year, he will go back to being the run game coordinator and tight ends coach. Finally, the newest running back coach and assistant head coach for offense, Stan Drayton. Drayton is has 33 years of coaching experience and 26 years focused on running backs. He coached NFL legend Brian Westbrook when he was at Villanova and has spent some years with Ohio State, Florida, Tennessee, the Chicago Bears, and most recently with Penn State. Drayton and Coach Beamer, as I mentioned, they go way back, coaching together in 2004 at Mississippi State. I've heard they had some great times when they were young coaches there. And Beamer, he had great praise for Drayton, while the new running back coach felt the same for Beamer and for this South Carolina football program.
Eerie feeling being here in Columbia, because the last time I was here was a night game. Brought a Florida team in here, and all I ever can remember is how loud that place gets, you know what I mean? And so the passion that I know is here for this program.
Just to be completely honest, Stan's what I've been looking for at the running back position since I got hired in December of 2020. He is the total package.
The decision was easy for me. There hasn't been many opportunities in 33 years where I can work with or for someone that I can absolutely let my hair down and be me and know exactly what's expected of me and know exactly what I can expect of that person.
And that rounds off your look at the new South Carolina offensive coaching staff. Now, some of the defensive Gamecock stars, they're saying goodbye. Defensive backs Brandon Cisse and Jalen Kilgore have declared for the NFL draft. Cisse, the transfer junior from Sumter, is projected to be a first-round pick at cornerback. Kilgore, a 3-year player for the Gamecocks, is one of the top safety prospects in the draft, according to Mel Kiper. Both are choosing to leave school early in pursuit of their NFL dreams, and we wish you luck in the NFL. As we keep looking to the future, the Gamecock 2026 schedule release. Can we get there soon enough? They start SEC play with Mississippi State, Alabama, Kentucky, and Florida, and they finish the year with Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Georgia. It's only a few months away at this point, or almost a year. We'll get there. All right, another timeout we're going to take, but coming up, we break down Clemson's upcoming bowl game against Penn State. But first, we highlight a wild day down in Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl. SC State highlights coming up next. Welcome back to Gamecock Saturday night. Today, an HBCU champion was crowned, and man, was this one wild. Let's head to Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl featuring South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M. The Bulldogs seeking their first natty since 2021. We begin in the second quarter where quarterback Cam Peters dominated. He throws his second touchdown of the first half. This time, Isaiah Rockwell, who hauls in the pass despite the tight coverage. 3 total touchdowns and 237 passing yards in the first half alone for Peters. This thing was all Panthers, who led 21-0 at the break. Different story in the second half. The Bulldogs get a much-needed turnover after a bad exchange. Jordan Dollard picks up the fumble to put SC State in prime scoring position. Tyler Smith cashes in on the turnover, turns it into 6 points from 5 yards out, 21-7 now. After an explosive play, Jordan Smith, the Ridgeview alum, caps off a 2-play drive with a 10-yard tutty. All of a sudden, it's a one-score game, 21-14. The next Bulldogs drive, the Columbia native, with his second TD of the third quarter. The backup quarterback Ryan Stubblefield on fire, leading the comeback. SC State scores 21 unanswered points in the third. They tie the game at 21. In the fourth, Bulldogs down 7, but they respond once again. Stubblefield leads SC down the field and rushes in for a 1-yard touchdown, game tied at 28. Later in the fourth, SC State down 7. They score to force overtime. Stubblefield finds Tyler Smith to end a 16-play drive, 35-35. Let's go to OT, why not? And this crazy one got even crazier. It took 4 overtimes to decide a winner, but here's the go-ahead score. Stubblefield to Smith, who somehow broke the plane for the score. There was a long review. I honestly don't think he broke the plane, but the call on the field was touchdown. They stick with it. The Bulldogs needed just one last stop, and they get it. The defense steps up. SC State wins the HBCU National Championship 40-38 in miraculous fashion. The 21-point comeback, it was incredible. Chaz Frazier has a recap from this thriller down in Atlanta.
In what turned out to be an all-time classic, South Carolina State pulled off the largest comeback in Celebration Bowl history.
That's all I can say. I'm still dreaming.
This is what I played the game for. This is what I came to South Carolina State for, to win.
Down 21-0 at the half after an injury to Billy Atkins, the Bulldogs turned to backup quarterback Ryan Stubblefield, and boy did he deliver. South Carolina State erupted for 21 unanswered points in the third quarter, eventually outlasting Prairie View A&M 40-38 in a 4-overtime thriller.
It's 60 minutes in the game. Okay, and I told them we didn't play very well. That wasn't our team that went out there the first 30 minutes, but we got 30 more minutes.
Before Saturday's game, the Bulldogs were 5-0 in one-score games this season. They showed that same resilience in a matchup that appeared to be all but over at halftime.
So I got them to believe, never fussed at them, just told them I believe in them. And we broke on believe. Don't leave this locker room unless you believe.
And that second half comeback, even more impressive considering it was led by backup quarterback Ryan Stubblefield. He tossed for 234 yards, 2 TDs through the air, 1 on the ground, and who could forget about that 2-point try he converted to put this game to bed.
There's no, fall off between the starter and the backup. So I just prepared just like I was a starter, and we went out there, and when my number was called, I was ready to play.
For head coach Chinnis Berry, the victory places him among a legendary lineage of South Carolina State coaches to win an HBCU national title.
That's what I love about Coach Pugh, man. I followed a legend, a living legend. And I love him so much, like a father to me, because, I can just lean on him for so many things because he gave me an opportunity. And he believed in me. He saw something in me. And whenever somebody believes in you, you never want to let them down.
The Bulldogs are bringing home their second national title in 5 seasons and their 9th championship overall in program history. And how about that? Chinnis Berry and the Bulldogs embraced their mindset, going 1-0 one last time to finish the season on top. I'm Chaz Frazier on the road with the Bulldogs in Atlanta, ABC Columbia Sports.
Good stuff from Chaz there in Atlanta. And how about those Bulldogs? What a season. And Chinnis Berry, all that guy does is win. Good for that team. The Newberry Wolves were looking to continue their historic season today and punch a ticket to the D2 National Championship game. The Wolves went all the way to the Michigan frozen tundra, I think it was in the teens, to play Ferris State. Look at all the snow on the ground. Newberry fell behind quickly 21-0, just like SC State. They were able to find the end zone and make it somewhat close some point in the second quarter, but ultimately the Ferris State Bulldogs, the reigning champs, they were just too much. And actually tempers boil over at one point. There's a bit of a late hit in the skirmish. The boys are fighting. It all is what it is, but Newberry's historic season unfortunately comes to an end in Michigan as Ferris State dominates 49-17. Nonetheless, a record-setting 12-win season and a whole lot to be proud of for this Newberry team. And let's go to America's game. The Army Black Knights taking on the Navy Midshipmen. First quarter, quarterback Blake Horvath finds a lane and stumbles into the end zone for Navy. The Midshipmen get on the board first, 7-0 Navy. But in the second quarter, Army answers. Their quarterback, Cale Hallams, barrels into the end zone. It's a tied game, 7-7 all. Army, they get ahead from a couple of field goals, including this one from Dawson Jones, a 47-yard attempt, which tops his previous career long from earlier in this game, 16-7 Army. But it's in the fourth quarter where things get interesting. Navy, just inches from the goal, they do a tush-push situation. The ball comes loose, but luckily for them, they recover it at the 8. After that, Horvath, appreciating the second chance, shoots to Eli Heinrich, and he is what turns the tide. The Navy wins it by 1 point, 17-16. Navy with its second win in a row, growing the all-time lead over Army to 64-55 Well, let's take another short break. Coming up next, we hear from Dabo Swinney as he gets his Tigers ready for the Pinstripe Bowl. Welcome on back. Bowl season is officially underway, and the Clemson Tigers have a few more weeks to prepare for their bowl game. The Tigers will head up to New York City for the Pinstripe Bowl against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Both these teams with championship aspirations in the beginning of the season, now meeting in the Big Apple. How things change, right? Clemson extending its bowl game eligibility streak to 21 years. The Tigers are 12-9 under Dabo Swinney in postseason games, which of course includes a few national championships. But this game in a baseball stadium in the cold up in New York is a first for Dabo.
What a unique opportunity to be able to play a football game in Yankee Stadium. So, you know, this is an opportunity that we have not had in my tenure as the head coach. And so just really excited about taking our team. I know we'll have a lot of kids on the team that have never been to New York. So for them to have an opportunity to not only go to an iconic city, but to play in a historic stadium and with so much tradition, and also to bring Tiger football up there where we have a huge alumni base. So just really excited about it. And then the fact that you get to play a national power like Penn State is a really special opportunity.
The Pinstripe Bowl kicks off Saturday, December 27th at noon right here on ABC Columbia. There's a chance we don't see a few of the Tigers' stars in this bowl game because several Tigers have declared for the NFL Draft. Cornerback Avion Terrell, defensive tackle Peter Woods, and defensive end TJ Parker, along with D-tackle DeMonte Capehart. Terrell, Woods, and Parker have had first-round projections all season long. Parker with 21.5 sacks in his Clemson career, while Woods has 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 82 total tackles. Best of luck to those guys as they try and accomplish their NFL dreams. Time for us to take another quick timeout. Coming up next, we recap the latest Gamecock men's hoops game. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We're still rolling. The Gamecock men's basketball team back in action on this Saturday evening. South Carolina hosting the Citadel. Michi Johnson getting things started fast to the hoop, gets the basket and the foul, puts the Gamecocks up too early, 8-6. Finished with a game-high 19 while hitting his 1,000th point as a Gamecock. The Citadel hanging tough, and South Carolina is actually down 22-20. Here comes the defense for the Gamecocks. Mike Sharv Johnson, Hayden Asimian combine for the big block to stop the Citadel's run. Here comes Cart Kingsbury, fancy move at the rim, puts the Citadel up 24-20. He led all scorers in the first half with 12. Eli Ellis now with almost his signature footwork down low, creates enough space to sneak in the layup, ties things at 24 apiece, 8 points for Ellis. Ball goes around the horn for the Gamecocks, find its way to Kobe Knox. He drives, scoops it for the basket. Big bucket for Knox, the Gamecocks. He finishes it with 12. They lead 27-24. Sharv Johnson, the Gamecocks, looking to separate. Mongolian Mike doing just that in the drive to the lane. Pushes the lead to 6. Good game for Mike. 14 points, team high, 7 boards. The Gamecocks outlast the Citadel 71-55. Next up, the Clemson game, Tuesday night in the Upstate. And it was a fantastic day on the Grand Strand for high school football. It was an all-star game. This one did not disappoint. The North up 7, late first, South answers. Aiden McCarthy out of Bluffton scrambles, hits a wide-open Marcus Can from Bamberg. Earnhardt, and we're tied at 7. Let's go second quarter. The North on the doorstep. They go with R.J. Brown out of South Point. The state champ rumbles in for the 2-yard score. North back on top 14-7. The South would move right down the field, but settle for a field goal from Philip Simmons kicker C.J. Falotis. 15-10 North at the half. North starts the third with the ball. They cruise the distance to cap the opening drive with a 2-yard run from Ware Shoals athlete Jaden Johnson. The South would make it interesting late, but the North would hold pat to win this one, 35-27. All right, one final break. We'll be right back.
The winner of the 2025 Heisman Trophy is Fernando Mendoza.
Well, that was the moment Fernando Mendoza became the 2025 Heisman Trophy winner. The Cal transfer, an Indiana quarterback, wins the first Heisman in school history as part of Indiana's historic season under coach Curt Cignetti. He and the Hoosiers are the #1 overall seed and will play the winner of Alabama and Oklahoma. What a story Indiana and Mendoza have been. If you have time, go look up his Heisman acceptance speech. It was really incredible stuff. All right, well, that's all the time we have on Gamecock Saturday night. Have a good rest of your evening or early morning, and we'll see you next time.